Petra and James had a wild night, but now they have to face the consequences. Petra is smart enough to get up early and go to class, but James is too lazy to follow her. He snoozes for too long and ends up being late for his philosophy class, where Mr. Zimet is waiting for him with a smirk. He barely lets him in, and then announces that today is the last day of school and they will do one final thought experiment. He asks the students to share their favorite philosophical puzzles, and they come up with some lame ones, like the monkey who can write Hamlet, the train that can kill 1 or 4 people, and the guy who jumps off a tower to test his friends. Zimet is not impressed, and he decides to spice things up. He tells them to imagine that the world is ending in a nuclear war, and they have to hide in a bunker for a year. He describes the bunker in detail, and then drops the bomb. There is only room for 10 people, and they have to choose who gets in and who stays out. Georgina is disgusted by this, and she refuses to play along. She thinks it's like Nazi Germany all over again. But Zimet scares her into joining by telling her how horrible it is to die from radiation. Petra also wants to leave, but Zimet blackmails her by threatening to fail James, who is her lover. She has no choice but to stay. Then Zimet hands out cards with random professions on them and tells them that these are their roles in the new society. He coughs a lot while doing this, and he seems to give special cards to Petra and James. The students look at their cards and they see that they have jobs like harpist, wine auctioneer, astronaut, and chemist. Toby is a poet and he tries to say something poetic, but Zimet shoots him dead. He says he took the gun from the bunker and that he did Toby a favor, because a poet is useless in a post-apocalyptic world. He also says that he is part of the game, but his profession is a secret. He is the wild card. Then he asks the students to defend their right to enter the bunker and to vote for who stays and who goes. The students have to pick the lucky 10 who will survive in the bunker. They choose the ones who have useful skills, like Petra the engineer, James the farmer, Georgina the doctor, Chips the carpenter, Jack the chemist, Bonnie the soldier, Andy the electrician, Poppy the therapist, and Omosaid the senator. The rest are out of luck, like Vivian the zoologist, Beatrice the fashionista, Parker the ice cream guy, Kavi the realtor, Russell the harpist, Plum the rich jerk, Nelson the maid, Mitzi the wine snob, and Yoshiko the astronaut. The last spot is between Zimet and Utami the singer. Petra thinks Zimet is shady, but Jack thinks Utami is useless. They vote for Zimet, who has a secret. They say goodbye to the losers, who get shot by Zimet. He says he's being nice, but he's really a psycho. Petra tells James she hates Zimet, and James has a plan. He tells everyone to get some plants for the bunker, and then he locks Zimet out. They explore the bunker, and it has some nice stuff, like a garden, a bed, a gym, and books. James and Petra cuddle on the bed, and he says he loves her. Petra checks on Zimet, and he's dying from radiation. He shows her a paper that says he has the exit code. She freaks out and tells the others, but they don't believe him. They live in the bunker for a year, and it's super boring. They do nothing but eat, sleep, and read. Petra watches Zimet rot, and a dog eats him. After a year, they try to get out, but they need the code. They panic and try to break the door, but they can't. They run out of food and water, and they decide to kill themselves. Zimet tells them they failed, and he's a bunker builder. He built the bunker, and he has the code. He's a jerk. The students want to try again, and they pick a new place. Mont Bromo. Zimet gets a gun, and Petra sees it. The cards have another twist. James is gay, but he still makes it. Georgina has Ebola, and she's out. The students have to pick the winners and the losers again. They pick the ones who have something to offer, like Plum the gold digger, Chips the handyman, Petra the engineer, Jack the lucky guy, Kavi the midwife, Omoseed the judge, Bonnie the memory master, and Nelson the nice guy. The others are doomed, like Andy the sicko, Poppy the baron, Vivian the animal lover, Parker the nothing, Utami the polyglot, Mitzi the genius, Beatrice the bamboo lady, and Russell the autistic. The last spot is for Zimet. He says he has the code and he's the boss. He gives Georgina the keys to a truck, and the losers try to escape, but they get blown up by the nukes. The winners run to the bunker, and they start their boring life. That night, Petra looks for James, but she finds him with Jack. They are gay, and they don't care about her. She is sad, and she tells the others. They decide to make babies, but Chips, Jack, and James don't want to. They pair up Bonnie and Kavi, and Omosaid and Nelson. Petra gets Zimet, and she hates James. He says he loves her, but she doesn't listen. They have sex while the world burns. The students can't make babies, and Zimmit says they need to swap partners. He wants the girls to sleep with everyone. Bonnie says no, and Zimmit gets mad. He gets a gun and tells everyone to leave, except Bonnie. They run, but Jack stays behind. He attacks Zimmit and makes him drop the gun. Bonnie grabs it and points it at Zimmit, but Zimmit fights back. Jack stabs Zimmit in the ear with a pen. Zimmit is hurt and he opens the door. He says they all die. The exercise is over. James is suspicious and he questions Zimmit. He remembers Zimmit's cough and he grabs the box. He opens it and finds out Zimmit rigged the cards. James and Petra always get the same roles, gay farmer and double engineer. James asks Zimmit why he hates him. Zimmit tells him about Plato's cave. He says James is like the man who sees shadows, and he doesn't know the real world. He says the exercise is to teach James a lesson, but James doesn't buy it. He says Zimmit is just cruel. Petra interrupts them and says they should try again. She says James should be a florist. They imagine an island and the nukes haven't dropped yet. Zimmit gets a weapon and he hears a noise. He ignores it. Petra hugs him and says she's sorry. She says she has a plan and she asks everyone to trust her. She picks the winners and the losers. She picks Mitzi for the wine, Beatrice for the clothes, Toby for the cards, Russell for the autism, Georgina for the Ebola, Utami for the singing, Jack for the jeans, and Parker for the gay. She also picks James and she leaves Zimmit out. They go to the bunker and they sit as a team. Zimmit is mad and he wants his gun, but Petra took it when she hugged him. She gives it back, but it's empty. She gives him 2 bullets, and she says she's sorry. James has a rifle, and he was the noise. He wants to kill Zimmit, but Zimmit says he has the code. Bonnie says she knows the code, and she's smart. Zimmit is sad, and he leaves. Petra picks the last one, and she picks Bonnie, but Bonnie says no, and Chips says yes. James is straight, and he loves Petra. He wants her to come, but she says no. She says she'll take the boat, but Chips has the keys. He pushes her in, and he takes her place. The others go to the boat, and they leave. Petra tells the story, and she says they had fun. They had wine, cards, poems, and songs. James says he loves her, but she doesn't say it back. They make a harp, and they play it. After a year, they go out, and they see no nukes. Zimmit says they die, but Petra says they live. She says they are happy, and they are ready. A rocket falls, and James has a button. He wants to push it, but Zimmit shoots him. He says he lived in a cave, and he ate bugs. He says they can't kill everyone, and he has a bullet. He aims at James, but the others block him. They push the button, and the island explodes. The exercise is over. Zimmit is ashamed, but Chips is proud. He says he survived on the boat, and he had 6 girls. The others ask about the boys, and Chips says they died. He says Kavi sank. Nelson got eaten and Andy got hit. He says he's infertile, but he still has fun. He sleeps with a girl every day. Zimmit ends the class and everyone leaves. Petra stays and she confronts Zimmit. She says he hates James and he's mean. She says he's her lover and he's jealous. Petra tells Zimmit that he's wrong and that she loves James. She says intelligence is not everything and that James doesn't deserve to suffer. She kisses Zimmit goodbye and she leaves. Zimmit is alone in the school and he wonders what to do. He thinks of going to his office, and he imagines different scenarios. Sometimes he just eats a sandwich, but other times he finds his gun and pulls the trigger. He hears a bang, and he feels nothing. The exercise is over.